Harish says, my friends hate English, and everyone in my surroundings don't let me speak with them. Too should be either. I've got no opportunity to speak English and get to practice them. Oh, you mean English. How can I get rid of this problem? Okay, I think that this is a common thing. People feel like, okay, I want to practice speaking. I have no opportunities to do it. What can I do? How can I have a speaking partner? Okay, now, there are several options. If you want really to practice English and you want to get feedback on that practice, the best thing to do, and I'm sure you already know this, is to get a teacher. Now, you might say, oh yeah, but a teacher, you have to pay a teacher. Yes, that's right. You also have to pay for food, right? You pay for things that are of value. So if you can find a good teacher and take a lesson a week, is it not worth the investment, potentially, for improving your English? You can find teachers in a lot of different places. One place to find a teacher one-to-one would be something like italki. Now, italki is what it's called. Now, is that really worth it? Well, it depends on how you use it. If you really review after every class and you get good notes and you find a good teacher who can give you really good and accurate feedback, I would say, yes, it's absolutely worth it. You can improve a lot faster with a teacher who's giving you feedback than if you're just speaking with friends randomly. Okay, so that's one option. I'm sure you know that one already, but a lot of people just discount it immediately. Oh, there's no way. Well, you pay for food, you pay for rent, you paid for your university. Why wouldn't you pay a teacher? It's a thing that's valuable. So I would encourage you guys to consider it. Once a week, once every 2 weeks, find a teacher and get good feedback. Make sure you get a good one. So maybe try a class first, because the difference between good teachers and bad teachers is huge. Now you might say, okay, well, what about friends though? Okay, maybe I can get some friends who like speaking English. That's right. So you say, my friends don't speak English. Well, maybe you need to not get rid of your friends, but add some new friends who have similar interests. Now, I'm not sure where you live, but in most places, there are at least some opportunities that you can get in your area where you might find people who have shared interests. Now, this could take the form of something like a meetup group. Meetup is a pretty cool website. You can find local events. I am involved in meetups. I get involved in meetups all the time. Several times a week, I do meetups online and we talk about stuff, right? That doesn't mean you're necessarily learning English, but maybe a discussion group, a discussion club. And if there aren't any, make one yourself. And you will attract people who have the same interest, people who want to maybe practice speaking. Start a meetup group in your area, either physically meeting up or online. That could be a great thing to do. And you make new friends who have similar interests. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, what if I want to make friends with native English speakers who can give me corrections? Good luck with that. Good luck with that, right? Anytime I've had a real friend who's a non-native English speaker, and I have lots of real friends who are non-native English speakers, I've had some bad experiences where people say, oh, by the way, can you, just as we talk, can you just correct me whenever I say something that's wrong? And the answer is no. No, I won't. Because if it's a friendship, then we should both be enjoying ourselves. It shouldn't be that I have to do all this work and try to pay attention to you and correct you, which is the job of a teacher, and you get the benefits of me doing that, right? If this is a friendship, then it should be both of us just enjoying each other's company and having an interesting conversation, right? So I would not encourage you to try to, if you have a native English-speaking friend, ask them to correct you. That's a thing to avoid. If you want to maintain your friendships, just be friends with them, have conversations with them. You know, we all just want to enjoy our friends. We don't want to always be doing work for our friends, right? I've actually lost friends for that reason, because they always kept asking me, can you correct me? Can you correct me? I can, but then it's not really us being friends. I'm sort of just a thing that you're using, right? Doesn't feel good. So there's that, okay? If you can get a group or a community where you have either native English speakers or other English speakers who speak maybe your native language too, who want to practice, that's great too. Meetup groups, things like Startup Grind if you're interested in business. There are lots of opportunities, okay? What about, I can't do any of those things for some reason. I think you can, but you can't for some reason. You feel nervous or you want to practice even more. Well, there are benefits to actually talking with yourself. I know that sounds crazy, but there really are benefits to that. If you give yourself a couple of daily prompts, daily questions, ask yourself a simple question, like maybe you know something about something. What is the difference between maybe you want to be able to explain technical things better. Okay, so you say, what is the difference between a 16-inch MacBook Pro and a 15-inch MacBook Pro in 2019 and 2018? That's a technical question. Or maybe you want to ask more general questions. For example, what do you think about the recent news from the United States regarding statues being torn down in the streets? Say your opinion about that. Record yourself for a couple minutes and then go back and listen to the recording, video or not, and make notes. So yes, you're not having a conversation there, but you are practicing, even though you're by yourself with your phone, listening back to it, making notes. That is a way to improve. So even if you have nobody, you can still practice by yourself. There's no excuse, really. So find a way to do it. Find a way to push yourself to practice. Whether you're doing that with people who speak your language, who are just interested in speaking, whether you have a teacher who you're paying, whether you have native English-speaking friends who you're sometimes having conversations with, or you're just practicing by yourself. There is a way to do it. There is always a way to do it. And by the way, there are some other platforms out there like HelloTalk, where you can find language exchange partners. A lot of people have some difficulty getting the right relationship and balance. But if you can do it, that's great. Develop your relationships and see if you can build out a good situation where at least you have the opportunity to practice speaking once or twice a week. So hopefully that answers your question, Harish. If you guys have any others, leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, check out my full courses in the links in the description.